The Grand Traverse of 2023 started the day after the matric dance. The students left the comforts of home and the noise of the dance behind as they embraced the solitude and wilderness of the Drakensberg mountains. The goal this year was to get the first two Treverton College schoolgirls across the 250 kilometre difference between the Sentinel car park in the northern Drakensberg and the Bushman's Neck border post in the southern Drakensberg. Our team consisted of Shaun Robertson, Georgina Thompson, Karijn Kooy, Giokos, Konstantinou Giokos, Daniel Jonck, Channelle Oosthuizen, Derek Brown, our Headmaster Kean Broom, and our cameraman Ethan Lundy.
I think there'll be challenging moments. There's always a period where the group is forming and the kids are trying to figure out exactly where they fit, how strong they are, how strong their mates are. After 3 or 4 days, that often begins to settle and the group starts to norm, so to speak. In other words, they figure out where their place is and they figure out how the group works.
I'm about to climb the chain ladders. I'm feeling good, a little nervous, just gonna get it done with.
There'll be some emotions, there'll be some really difficult days, perhaps some tears, there'll be some incredible achievements when we reach the top of some of these peaks. So I think all of that will feed into what will hopefully be a really, really excellent experience.
We've just climbed up the chain ladders. As you can see, I'm a little out of breath. And we're hiking the Traverse over the next 2 weeks.
The chain ladders are the easiest and the most commonly used way of accessing the high berg. The chains lead up to the top of the amphitheatre, which is where the Tugela Falls are found, which is regarded as the highest waterfall in the world.
We are right now by the Tugela Falls. The river comes down here, flows down. I'm feeling pretty good.
Awesome.
Pretty excited for what's to come.
We're gonna have some steaks, then some smash. Looking forward to it. Yeah, we haven't done too much hiking today. We've taken it a bit slow, but yeah, still starving.
It was a nice, sort of easy day just to ease into it. Only started walking sort of after lunchtime, and yeah, it wasn't that long, but it was fun. We did the chain ladders, and yeah, just been enjoying the view.
No, mine was definitely arriving here, setting up camp, and checking out the sunrise down at the escarpment. That was insane. Yeah, it was like a full view, 360 sunrise.
Do you want to redo it and say sunset?
Oh, sunset. We're going to be going up Montesource Peak, which is around that way, and then going to be going up Stamili Peak, and then going to take a break most probably, and then go down to I forgot the name. Mundini.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we're having a tea break at 10, which I'm looking forward to. I think we all are. And then lunch at about 12:15, and then another tea break at 3.
Five minutes into today's walk, and we've already stopped our full spring. It's pretty cool, pretty chill day.
We're on top of the first peak, Montesources, which is on top, or just above the chain ladders, so it's the first peak of the Traverse.
It's been cool and windy, and I think good conditions for walking, so far so good.
And there's our next peak in the distance, far, far away.
Two standout features of the Drakensberg are the cold, cool, crystal clear water that is so satisfying to drink. And then the views back off of the main escarpment down into the Natal Midlands are just breathtaking. And between Montesources and Stimele Peak, there are multiple opportunities for views off the main escarpment.
Yeah, it's been nice. Quite a nippy wind most of the day, but I think we get the sense that we like into the traverse now. After leaving that Montesources area, you start to move on. So yeah, good feeling.
Yeah, but otherwise today was a pretty hard day, almost as hard as my calluses. But yeah, I'm strapping them up now, and we're about to cook up some nice dinner. So yeah.
My highlight was at the top of Stimele because the view was just like absolutely amazing. I think my worst part was the downhill before Stimele because my ankle was hurting and I just wanted to get it done with.
Eating chorizo with pasta and lentils. Oh, and biltong. Yeah, that's actually gonna be perfect.
So Dan, man, what are we up to this morning?
We making coffee and breakfast, and then gonna start hiking once we're all packed up.
So Kai and Jared are heading towards us. We've been looking forward to seeing them for 2 days now, and we thought they were going to pass us in the evening, but apparently they're just too quick and they're already passing us now.
On the morning of the third day, we met up with Kean Broom and Jared van Alphen, who were running 100 kilometers of the traverse between the Sentinel Car Park and Grey's Pass. They completed the Grand Traverse in 2022 with Treverton for the first time.
Yeah, it's going well. We had a bit of a cold night last night because we had to sleep in bivy bags. No sleeping bags, but it's fine. We're feeling strong at the moment. We're probably going to end it around midnight tonight, just before then, to the caves we want to get to. But yeah, so far so good, I guess.
How's your nose feeling?
My nose is alright. Quite a plaster on. It's feeling good.
How are you feeling for the rest of the trip?
Yeah, we're only 18 and like 28 k's in, so we'll have to see how we're feeling. But
That's exciting. What time did you leave?
3:30.
Yeah, that's
We were in bivy bags and we were shivering, so we're like,
Yo.
let's stuff it.
No,
Let's just go.
Sure.
Yes, at the moment we're gonna walk around here by Kwanka Pass and then head over 2 pins, and then from there we got a big ascent down to what was it called? Nsembutu Heads, and then from there we gonna sleep by Vulture's Retreat. And then again. So we've just had a bit of a bath in the start of the Orange River. Right here you'll see there's a little beautiful sort of waterfall going into kind of a nice little dammed up area. And yeah, we're almost by camp, so just got about 2 kilometers or less to walk, and then yeah, done for the day.
Just sitting there chilling. It was nice to see that this isn't just a hike to complete the hike, but it's also just here for the experience, for the view, just to have fun.
Georgie, what is your worst part of the day?
Falling in the river because I slipped on a rock.
Feeling great. Yesterday was a bit shaky. I think I had a little bit of altitude sickness, was feeling quite nauseous, and Was struggling quite a lot with the elevation, but today feeling good. We're doing a lot less bushwhacking, a lot more trailblazing, and yeah, it seems like we're going to be at camp early today.
Our camp at the end of day 3 was at Vulture's Retreat, which is a magnificent viewpoint that looks across onto the Rockeries spires and also out onto the northern peak of the saddle. When one looks off the escarpment, there are many roosting Cape vultures which are flying on and off of the cliffs, and simply wonderful to look at. The whole view there is serene and difficult to find anywhere else.
Yeah, so we've just made coffee. We're boiling some water now to add to our beef burrito, kind of like freeze-dried meals. And we're gonna put that on some wraps, and that will be dinner.
Morning. Beautiful views today over the escarpment at sunrise. I was the only one foolish enough to wake up at 5:30. It is very cold, very, very cold, but also beautiful.
Top of Nkhuza Rock Pass. This over here is North Saddle Peak with massive sheer cliffs, and then over there in the distance you can see the Outer Manweni Needle and the Inner Manweni Needle, and then there's also the Rockeries which we were able to see from our campsite last night.
We're just looking at getting down to Tseketseki Valley via the Elephant and the Cockade area here. Whether to keep to the top where there seems to be a path, or to cut down that gap in the front there where I've been before. But so there are two options. We're going to stick with the path. Awesome.
From our campsite at Vulture's Retreat at the end of the 3rd day, we then headed across around the back of Saddle North Peak and Saddle South Peak and into the Mlambonjwa Valley. This is where the mighty Manweni comes to an end and the start of the Cathedral Peak range begins. At the end of the Mlambonjwa Valley, we then climb up behind Zeni Pass and up over the Elephant and down towards Cockade. Again, the views are spectacular.
Sitting sort of above the pass with the elephant right behind us. It's a stunning view. There's a lot of birds and stuff in the background. It's absolutely stunning.
Cockade Pass.
Where's Cockade Pass? Yeah. Okay, Cockade Pass is here.
It was a good one. We had a lot of climbing today, but the views were magnificent. I think we had over 1.5 of climbing, so yeah, it was quite heavy on the knees because the descents were quite bad. Yeah.
Last night already, when we started going to bed, the wind picked up quite a bit and blowing the tents around. And then later on, like throughout the night, it got even worse, and then it started raining.
and yeah, it was quite hectic. Luckily, I had my warm sleeping bag, so I was not too bad, but yeah, otherwise the storm was pretty hectic.
So at the moment we're at the top of Tiki Tiki Pass, watching a lamachai I saw above us. We're going to go over Cleft Peak, which is a peak that rises to 3,277 meters. So we've got about a 250 meter climb from where we are now.
On the morning of the 5th day, we left our camp at Teki Teki and headed up over Cleft Peak. Cleft Peak is the second of the 7 summits that need to be achieved. It has its name from the massive gash that is seen from below and from the summit of the peak. The views from the top of it were wonderful, looking back over the northern Drakensberg and looking across the central Drakensberg from the summit. Takes your breath away.
So right now we're at the top of Cleft Peak. The climb was hard, but not actually as hard as I expected it to be. And it's hard to find one word, but I'd say just like breathtaking, looking at this view.
One word, incredible, eh? Definitely. Or humbling. You really feel small up here.
We're at the top of Organ Pipes Pass right now, waiting for the food drop people to come up. We're here quite early, so.
To complete the traverse in 13 days requires a number of food drops. The first one for us was at the top of Organ Pipes Pass, and we had a team hike up to deliver our food to us, and we're so grateful for their work. Without them, the trip would be impossible.
I hope you guys enjoy that meal tonight.
And all your we're just making Alex's leg usable, his foot. We're going to burst a blister and we're going to put a bit of antiseptic in it, and then we'll raise the area around it so that the pressure is not on the spot that it was on. So we'll sort it out.
After you, doctor.
Okay. Daniel, in his haste, appeared to spill boiling coffee on his foot, and he's learned that perhaps a gentler approach to enjoying things like coffee is required.
Daniel, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, so it's just, I hope it doesn't like affect like the days going forward. But yeah, I guess if it does, just
I think the more cushioning there is here, the better. So
yeah.
Stop,
just couldn't feel
I'm feeling perfect. Busy making myself some energy drink.
Nice.
And yeah, ready to hit the mountains. On this side there's the Dima Dome, and then if the mist cleared up a bit you'd be able to see the Dima Cascade waterfall. And then up here's the Dima Buttress. Yeah, we got a nice view over here. Right now we're on the saddle between the two.
A yodeler's walk-up is basically 7 kilometers of straight uphill, and my experience of it was pain.
Currently we're on top of Champagne Castle, which is the 3rd of the 7 peaks you've got to summit.
counting day numbers now. We don't know days or times.
Yeah, I do when I look at my book, but I don't know where my book is.
It was tough. Yeah, definitely I think one of the worst actually. Alex was really sick. We've all had like snotty noses and coughing, but Alex had like a tummy bug, so he was suffering. Then yeah, blisters and the hills, that was the problem, the hills.
Yodel's Cascades,
Yeah, Yodel's Cascades. Yeah, we climbed that. It took us forever. And then we summited Champagne's Castle. So yeah, it was a tough day, but yeah, I guess hopefully tomorrow won't be as bad.
How does it feel to spend your birthday in the mountains?
No, it feels amazing. I guess if you look behind me, you can see the mountains of Lesotho with the sunlight just hitting the tops of them. So it's a really pretty view. Our day today is heading to the summit of Mafadi, which is the highest peak in South Africa. So to spend it up there will be amazing.
Happy birthday to you. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip.
Alex has been complaining about stomach issues. We're going to feed him a bit of charcoal to sort it out. We'll get some charcoal for you. You must eat it. You must drink it at least.
Okay, so Alex, can you explain to me exactly what you're about to do?
I'm about to drink a concoction made by Dr. Brown, containing charcoal and water.
Okay, bottoms up.
We're currently sitting just under the peak of Mafadi, which is the highest point in South Africa. We've just had lunch and are about to get going now.
Mafadi is the fourth peak that we needed to summit on our trip, and it's achieved by walking up the beautiful valley behind Leslie's Pass. It was a significant moment for our group because of the physical problems that we'd experienced beforehand. Daniel's foot and Alex's stomach complaints had caused us significant concern, and yet reaching the summit of that, it felt like we were leaving those behind, and we were now working towards achieving our goal of finishing the traverse.
So we just finished day 7. Not gonna lie, it was a pretty long day.
We did 24 kilometers.
Yeah, but we did well. We got further than we were meant to, which is cool.
Yeah, it's looking better. You can see that the areas that actually were burnt badly are showing through, whereas previously it was the whole area that was quite red. So looks like we're gonna win, but he's gonna be able to start airing it in the evenings as well, which is good.
Yesterday was a tough one. We did about 25 Ks and what was it, like 1.2 elevation, and it was definitely hectic, but it was nice. We also did the highest points in South Africa, which is Mafadi, and that was quite. It's in my bag, so I'll give it to you. Yeah, we did Mafadi, which was a long journey to get to. We had to go up a ridge that was like never ending, and yeah, we eventually got there, and it was all worth it, you know.
These mountain goats, yeah, make it look quite easy, but when you get to the top, the view's worth it. So tired, but good.
So we just got to Giant's Pass and now we're having a quick little breather and then we'll summit the Giant.
Day 8 was an important day for us. We left Bannerman's Pass, which is where we'd camped at the end of day 7, and we headed across to Giant's Castle. There were 4 significant climbs, the worst of which was over Mount Durnford, which looks insignificant from a distance, but right in front of you it stands tall and strong and is a challenge to overcome. We also did the day in the mist, and that was difficult to navigate, but the views from the top of Giant's Castle were wonderful. The mist cleared as we summited the peak, and it left us with wonderful late afternoon views over the Natal Midlands.
No need to frown when we have Mr. Brown.
Yeah, so we slept at Bannerman's, we woke up. Our tents were still wet, so yeah, we were in a valley so the sun wasn't there. And then we started climbing. It was a hectic climb. And they said it was the only climb, but there were like 3 or 4 more. And we learned not to be too hopeful today. Yes. So then we traversed, and then we summited Giants. That was very cool. And it's misty now, and it's been misty the whole day. And we had a nice lunch at a river. And one funny thing that happened today, or that someone said, was Ethan. He said that he could inhale KFC right now. So that was pretty funny. Cool.
And then about the news about us ending a day early?
Oh yeah, of course, I can't forget. We are going to Sani on Tuesday, a day earlier, and then we're finishing also a day earlier on Friday instead of Saturday.
The low point was this morning when we started walking because my feet and my knee was so sore. But it got better throughout the day, so.
Just summited Ready Peak, and if you look in the distance there, that's Ndabana and Shanyana. That's where we're heading tomorrow. That's the tallest peak in southern Africa.
That's not true.
No, it is. It's the highest.
Mafadi.
No, Mafadi is in South Africa.
Oh, southern Africa.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, just correct Karijn.
You missed them. Sorry.
And how high are we right now?
About 3,000 something.
309.
Epic.
You're doing great, Daniel.
And this is number 1 out of 17.
Number 6.
Epic.
Yeah. One more to go.
what's happening in Kozi's kitchen tonight?
Busy boiling some hot water, and then gonna make myself a nice warm coffee and make some of these. And seeing as we like arriving back a day early, we get chow double rations. So yeah, gonna be feasting tonight.
Nice. And objectively, what is the best trail foods company flavor?
Everyone tunes a different one. I like the beef poiki and the chili con carne.
The best trail foods
It's these two.
They have them
the
right
mushroom
here.
risotto and this lentil one. And
the
PBM
citrus.
easily citrus.
No, PBM is cherry.
No, cherry tastes like medicine.
I love the cherry one.
And the trail foods, which one do you like?
I also like the mushroom risotto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trail food for sure is red lentil dal.
Always.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's so good.
What was the other good one? The penne.
Yeah, I like
Penne
the bolognese
bolognese.
quite a lot. Yeah.
I'm having that tonight.
I think the penne bolognese is probably my favourite, but they've all been excellent.
The butternuts and sweet potato flavour with the rice was amazing.
I actually can't remember all of them, but what was that hot one we had last night?
The lentil dal.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
But they're all pretty good.
Very windy today. Freezing cold gusts. Just like almost every day. Very hard to walk in, very hard to hike in. Everything blows away.
The morning of the 10th day dawned bright and clear, but really windy, and that made it a challenge as our goal for that day was to summit Tabana Inclement, which rises from the Umkomazi Valley down below to 3,489 meters. We chose a really gnarly route that was really rocky and grassy, and the ascent was long and hard. The storm in the middle of the day made it even more interesting.
Sure, we got caught in like a storm of sleet. Now we're hiding behind this rock over here to take cover because it hurts.
Well, we're cowering at the base of Tabana Inclement's little cap at the top of it, so we're just outside of the wind. It's been howling over this neck over here.
How fast would you say it's been going?
Probably about 300 k's an hour, somewhere around there. Very, very, very powerful. It came with sleet earlier, so we were caught on the rock band there with some sleety hail. So yeah, we're going to go and have a quick picture and then we're done.
And how high is Tabana Inclement?
3,483, is it? 83. Anyway, if I'm wrong, it's by like 2 or 3 meters.
It's too
So
high.
there we go, 3, 4, 8 something. But it's boring. It's just a little peak. It's a little copy.
Yeah, Alex, so tell me now. We've gone all this way, our journey's slowly coming to an end, and I'm sure we've all noticed the checkered flag. So tell me, what does that symbolize? What does that mean for you on this hike?
So basically a while back, one of mine and my mate's close mates, he was like part of our group. He took his life, and at his funeral, because he liked racing motorbikes, at his funeral they handed out these flags. And basically I've just been carrying it around on every hike I've been on, and it's like a tradition almost, yeah.
Yeah, walking on it's fine now. It's going really well, really not feeling it. Yeah, hopefully within the next 2 days or so it will heal up, form a scab, and
then it'll be hunky-dory for your last day.
Yeah.
Ethan, how do you feel now that it's like your last night?
Pretty sad, but not gonna lie, I'm pretty shattered.
You're not sad.
Today was
You're so happy.
Today was a big day. I had to dig really deep. It's probably like one of the most gnarly experiences of my life.
Cool.
Did like a 700 meter uphill, and then on the 700 meter uphill had like 70 km/h wind the whole time, and then we got sleeted on and stormed on. But yeah, I'll be sad to leave the crew. Made a lot of I will. Made a lot of memories with the guys and the girls, and but everything comes to an end.
Cool.
Okay, Alex, what is your highlight of the trip so far?
Probably today actually. Tabana in Kanyana. I learned it.
Nice.
It was quite a good day. Quite a bit of climbing, but we were lucky to experience a little bit of a sort of snow, sleet, hailstorm, which was quite interesting. As was like my first time. But yeah, it was also nice to get to the top of the peak, obviously. Yeah, that's probably my favorite part of the hike.
And what was your low point of the hike?
Sure, my diarrhea on like on day 6, I think it was bad. And this stuff, this charcoal, I tell you, it came in clutch. For all of you out there that want to go on hikes, take some of this with you. Nice. It helps.
My highlight was actually today. It was walking in sleet, which was pretty cool to me, and then summiting the highest peak in Southern Africa.
Nice. I've really enjoyed the grandeur of the place and the solitude. That combination's been amazing. Every day just these sort of spectacular views and incredible scenes. That's been awesome. We did encounter a bit of sleet today going up Tabo Mklenyana, and that was, in the moment it was cold and freezing, but it definitely a highlight looking back.
I think repeating the process of the Grand Traverses was what I was really wanting to do, and reliving the incredible places that Lesotho and South Africa have to offer on the Drakensberg. To me, that's a highlight. It's just a remarkable place, and to experience it again is such a joy.
There's so much that can go wrong, and we've seen one or two things go wrong already, but we've been able to manage those, and I think that's great. And then also, well, to see Kean do it as well as a headmaster of a school to come here and be part of this is awesome.
A single moment that repeats every day, which is having that coffee in the tent with Georgie, like every morning or like every evening. That's like my highlight. That's what I look forward to.
I'm absolutely I've loved the views and all of the peaks, and just like looking down and seeing like how far like from the ground we are. And then I've also just loved every night like in the tent, just like chatting and having like our hot chocolate and having our little like conversations have been really good.
I'll have to say it was the day that we went swimming. Yeah, that felt nice to get clean. And then another one would be, I think, in general, the views. Views have been absolutely amazing, like off the escarpment. Yeah.
I'd definitely say summiting Giant's Castle. That was probably some of the most spectacular views I've ever seen. It felt like a real peak to me, rather than just like a lump, like a lot of these other ones have been. It was super sheer, and the views were intense and involved a little bit of scrambling, and yeah, that was definitely a highlight of my trip. Dan, what's for breakfast this cold morning?
PVM pub. The mealie meal is really good. Yeah, and some coffee.
So this is the sort of day we've been looking forward to, in the sense that Sani is a bit of a beacon, I guess, for us, knowing that there's cooked food there, and there's warmth there, and there's other people there. We've got about 7 k's to go to get there. When we are there, we'll spend a good couple of hours there waiting for Mrs. Brown to come, and for Alex and Stu to come, and we'll have something to eat there, and then after we've had something to eat, we'll pack our food, and then we'll head off. Obviously this is also the day we say goodbye to Ethan, which is a real shame. But we wish you well, and we'll certainly miss you for the 3 or 4 days that we've got left.
We're standing on top of Sani Pass at the highest pub in Africa, and yeah, getting ready to enjoy a delicious meal.
Nice to have a little semi-luxury in the middle of something like this, eh?
Yeah.
Lunch spots on the 12th day. Gozzy. Hello.
What's up?
How are you feeling being alone in a tent?
Oh, it's so lonely.
It's so
fun,
lonely.
One more day.
One more day. How do you feel about us finishing another day earlier?
Oh, that's the best news ever.
It is exciting.
Yeah, no, it was worth the push today.
Yeah, it was a big push though.
100% worth the push.
How do you feel that we're finishing a day earlier?
That's a good thing. Back to family.
Yeah, that's nice. How was the day?
Longer than most of them. We did 24.5 k's, but the route was easy. It was kind of like a took the easier line most of the time.
Hello, Channelle.
A chocolate cappuccino.
This is a double hot chocolate, I must say.
Ooh.
Put 2 in 1. It's important.
Nice.
So this is our last night. It was supposed to actually be our second last night, but we pushed, and we're going to end tomorrow now.
And everyone's very happy about that. We had our last supper, which was tuna pasta with cups of soup.
It was actually a lot better than all
It
the
was so
dehydrated
good.
food.
Yeah, it was delicious. Like I want it again. I want to eat more.
Yeah.
The last morning.
The last day of the Grand Traverse 2023 was a strange mixture of emotion. On the one hand, there was the joy and satisfaction of completing a task, one that we had set out to achieve and planned and trained and exerted much effort to prepare for. We also looked forward to seeing our family and friends who we hadn't been around for 2 weeks.
So we're all sitting here, very close to the end. And those houses over there at the bottom. This is the end point.
My feet are a bit sore today.
Mine
But
too.
we're doing really well. We're almost done.
But on the other hand, there was a deep sense of sadness. This was a world of big mountains, of deep valleys, of fresh, crystal clear water, of interesting weather with very little shelter, of constant companionship and friendship and building and growing relationships. The wide open spaces, physical effort, and the simplicity of living in this foreign environment had a magnetic effect on our hearts, as it does on all those who choose to wander in them. The journey is more wonderful, more memorable, and more enthralling than we could ever have imagined. A piece of our affection remains in those mountains, and a piece of those mountains will forever remain in us.